All right, we'll be back from that commercial break. How are you doing? Hope you're okay. It is another beautiful day, Thursday, 29th September. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're making some good money for yourself. How have you started the day? Ours, we started with updating you with information. At 7 a.m. news recap, Barija Andrew taking you through all the details to do with information as things are moving on in the world. Now, speaking of information and speaking of business, you get to realize there are lots of opportunities for you to invest in some of those. That is with the Zabu platform. MTN subscribers, *292# is the USSD code that you can use definitely there, and you can invest in securities and bonds. Easier, accessible, and quite affordable in that space. And if you're to look at it in the other way around, is that the markets do open at 8:15 a.m. and do close at 3:15 East African Standard Time. That's 3:15 p.m. Zabu, your money, your future. Powered by Alltex East Africa. You dial *292#, follow the prompts. That is to all the MTN subscribers. Invest in those bonds and securities. Make your money count. Your money, your future. All right. And with your daily Kickstarter, Smart Means Business, ours is dedicated to giving you brand new reports and stories regarding business. As everything happens, you have all that you deserve to experience in the world of business. There are lots of things, there are lots of chances, lots of opportunities. Breaking them down for you, you get to realize that every day, there is at least someone who's going to help you out, or there is at least someone you're going to help or find a solution to a challenging problem. Wherever you find it, it is that what makes us individuals who are into the business value chain. This is Smart Means Business. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. On Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. There's an underscore on Instagram and Twitter at Jerome Paul _Sonko, Jerome Paul _Sonko, Twitter, Instagram. Then socials here on Smart24 TV, we've got Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Smart24 TV. And of course, our website is www.smart24.tv. Well, also, on the other hand, if I'm to mention on social media, you can get onto our YouTube channels, Smart24 TV and Smart24 TV Live. Please do remember to subscribe. We're as well streaming. Coming to you on mainstream via GoTV, channel 394. and DSTV channel 372. Hope you're doing okay though. It's a morning, it's another day, like I said, 29th September. If we had to count down the days we're left with to move to the month of October, one good day like this, Friday tomorrow. So that means by Saturday, we will be already and officially in the month of October, the 10th month of the year. Hope you are basically going hard in making sure that you get all that matters in regards to your year expectations, your aspirations that you set up at the beginning of the year. Hope you are on the drive to getting these particular matters. But beyond that, remember, you're on your own, by the way. It is you to change every single detail about how life is driving you. Okay, now let's get the update here regarding access to information. Like I said, every new day that passes by, you really need to be aware of the trending markets or the trending information that happens or the trending news everywhere in the world of business. Now we get an update in regards to the access to information, but when I do return, I'll be having the topic of discussion. But now an update regarding access to information. Why is it vital for organizations to access information? It's something that you really need to know if you are out there. If I told you a business person, those are things that you need to have at the back of your mind. Now let's get this update. I'll be right back.
I say that if you want to achieve, work in some kind of group, if you want to fail, work alone.
The Constitution of Uganda was adopted in 1995, and Article 41 states that every citizen has a right of access to information in the custody of the state or any other organ of state, except where the revelation of the information is likely to interfere with the security of the state or right to privacy of any person. Consequently, the right to information access is a basic human right.
The right to information, the right to access information held by government is essential for transparent and accountable governance in a democratic society by promoting and facilitating greater public participation and the scrutiny and the supporting better decision-making processes. Without a free exchange of information, people cannot ably or fully be aware of what's going around them, and so they cannot meaningfully participate in their communities. The lack of citizens' access to information continues to hamper the realization of sustainable development in Africa.
The increase in internet usage and the emergence of new technologies have given information access a newfound significance and increased scrutiny. Intentionally or unintentionally, misleading information has been disseminated using technology, particularly social media platforms. However, the Computer Misuse Bill, which Honorable Nseleko privately introduced, imposes severe penalties for cybercrimes, which were recently enacted by Parliament.
Once, we have seen developments and the passing of the Computer Misuse Act, which sanctions of the public figure if accented by the government in its form. In passing the Access to Information Act in 2005 and the Access to Information Regulations in 2011 provided every Ugandan citizen a legal and constitutional right to access information held by any ministry, department, or agency of government, and this is commendable.
In Uganda, government officials tend to deny access to information to the public because of the Official Secrets Act of 1964, which makes it a criminal offense for current and former government employees to leak or provide certain types of information considered damaging. The oath of secrecy requires government officials not to communicate or reveal any matter that they come across during the discharge of their duties.
At the commencement of any occupying any office, I, for one, I have taken oaths of secrecy, and I believe other public officials just like me. When I was first appointed a member of the Human Rights Commission, I took oath of secrecy. When I was appointed Deputy IGG, I took an oath of secrecy. When I assumed the office of Chairperson of the Human Rights Commission, I took the oath of secrecy. And I'm saying that sometimes public officials unduly hide behind the Official Secrets Act and oaths of secrecy to deny the media and the public information which is necessary for them to make important decisions.
Access to information and citizen participation can strengthen service delivery under the decentralized system of local government.
Now, access to information is very critical in delivering services under decentralization. And why it becomes critical is because we are talking about the use of power that was devolved to local governments to deliver services. And the objective was to get power closer to the people, to be used to make decisions that affect the ordinary person.
Access to information is very crucial in an organization because you cannot talk about accountability, good governance, and transparency when there is no sharing information. This is because people get to be mobilized towards a common cause through information. Monica Nabyonga, Smart 24 TV.
All right, there you have it. Access to information, information access, or in any other way how you turn the words around. Access to information, information access, and all that is something important to any business community and something very important to any business person out there. Now, speaking of access to information, I will be very honest with you. We're going into a topic of discussion where we are looking at app development, applications that are making it easier for the business community, that are making it easier for not only the business community, but for the social well-being of many Ugandans who are already accessing the internet. Now, access to the internet is something that has already been championed everywhere across the globe. This is one of the reasons as to why many Ugandans come on board to criticize the government here for having high internet costs. But as a matter of fact, today we are talking e-trade, electronic trade, and startups. And joining me this morning, I do have a guest from Tuko Super App Uganda, and this is Dr. Clement Wiseman, who is the chairman of the application, or the company that runs the application. Many thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Please say hello to the viewers.
Oh, hello there, everybody. My name is Dr. Clement Wiseman. I'm the chairman and one of the co-founder of Tuko Super App.
All right. Now, speaking of e-trade and startups, one would still want to understand, what does Tuko do, for instance?
Actually, Tuko is what we call a super app. The world now is moving in the next level when it comes to app. For example, you know, if you need an app for taxi, you have to download one. If you want for food, you have to download another one. If you want, for example, for medical purpose, another one. But with Tuko Super App is one app that you can, it has everything that you need. You want taxi, you want border, you want an electrician, you want a pharmacy. Everything is all in there. It's one app that solves, actually, it makes your life easy.
Okay. Speaking of e-trade, the transition in Africa is something that we cannot go without mentioning. How many businesses are now turning digital and how most of them are embracing the electronic platforms. How have you found the business of the continent?
Yeah, actually, from my understanding, it's very receptive when it comes to where we're talking about where the app is concerned.
Okay.
But the biggest issue is the high cost, especially of internet. You know, and this is actually making internet also to become very unreliable. This is making it a little bit difficult and very, very expensive. For example, if you compare our country here with other countries, it's easier to run a lot of e-trade businesses there, but here the cost is quite very high, and it's really actually hindering the growth, especially as you know the world is everywhere in the world. We're moving towards technology, and this one is really slowing.
Okay,
we're talking about, and this is slowing only just the growth of technology, but also the economy.
Why? The cost of doing business here or the cost of the internet?
No, the cost of doing business here, to be honest with you, it's very, very affordable.
All right.
We're talking about even compared with our neighbors, Kenya here.
Okay.
We're talking about Tanzania, but we're talking about it is the cost of the internet here. It's expensive.
Okay. And if you to look at how the Ugandans have received, how have they been, because you've mentioned the reception you've received from the Ugandans, they're willing to use these platforms, but there's a market that is actually now dominated by quite a number of apps doing the same thing.
Yes.
How have you managed to maneuver through?
Actually, with the Tuko app right now, like I mentioned to you before, right now we have over about 15,000 people that we have actually working with Tuko. As I speak to you right now, we have over about 80 partners that are business partners that are working with us, each with a minimum of about 10 employees at least. How have we been? Because Tuko is totally different. It's totally different. We can do what others can do, but they cannot do what we do.
Okay.
You know, for example, I'll give you with the Tuko app is one app. If you want a taxi, you can book there. If you want border, you can book in there. If you also want to order food, you know, from any best restaurants. Actually, we are partnered with the best restaurants here in Kampala. But also, one of the most amazing things here is we bring things, as you know very well, here in Kampala. If you want a plumber, if you want an electrician, you have to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And by the time they refer you to that person, to find that person is not qualified. Okay. So with Tuko app, actually, you can get a plumber there within 30 minutes. Okay. You know, you can get an electrician within 30 minutes. But also, we provide things like the breakdown services. For example, you know very well, if you break down here in Kampala or outside Kampala, it's very difficult. It costs you a lot. But with Tuko app, when you join in, actually, even we offer free breakdown services for a year.
Let me get this right now. Let's look at development of apps.
Yes.
For Ugandan developers out there, I want to understand, everyone thinks of developing an app or something. But let's look at the core values or the core basics of starting up an app.
Yes.
How do you tell that this app will be able to execute what I want? How do you come up with a plan to start up one?
When we started, actually, it has taken us over about 3 years now to develop it.
Okay.
You know, we have where, for example, when it comes to startup, you can buy things that are already been on the shelf. But that's one they don't guarantee success. You know, it has to be tested. For example, with the Tuko Super App, we have tested it actually in Africa. We tested it in Kenya. We tested it in South Africa. It has been tested in America. It has actually is even in the UK, but also in the Caribbean. This requires you, especially, it's very costly to do something that is, for example, almost with, it's costing us almost about $1 million to develop where Tuko Super App is concerned. It's one of the fast super app in the world. You know, we're talking about it has to be fast. You have to be able to make sure things, bugs and all those things. So, but one of the things that are always, there's a lot of creativity even from Uganda. We're talking about us, we are Ugandans, we have come back again with the technology that we have learned over in many other countries to bring back and invest home. But the good thing about where Tuko Super App is concerned is one app, because we want to develop an app that has everything. So you don't need to keep, because a lot of people, you have to keep, deleting new apps, whatever it is. With Tuko App, everything is there. You want the doctor is there. You want pharmacy is there. You want the taxi is there. You want the border is there. You want the, name it, whatever. You want to get your hair done. You want to book a barber, it's there. But it has everything all together.
All right. When we do return, we'll be asking Dr. Wiseman here to help me understand why do we have to always update apps and what causes the update, because those are some of the other questions that I'm actually going to pose in here. But our discussion here is entirely on development of apps, but basically looking at e-trade and startups. How best can you push for e-trade in Uganda, in a country whereby the internet costs are still high, and negotiations here and there between civil society organizations, social media users and the government seemingly not yet to come to an end. But we hope that by the time they come up with a valid reason as to why these particular internet costs are high, we shall be good to go. But most of the users are complaining of the same matter, and now same applies to the app developers. When we return, we talk more of that, the challenges of the business, where are the future prospects of e-trade in Africa and in Uganda in particular. Stick around, this is Smart Beans Business.